Hey, welcome back once again, pirates and world government members, whichever side you identify with, to another brand new One Piece video where we go over the beautiful world of One Piece. In today's discussion, we perform a deep character analysis on one of the most popular characters in the One Piece series, red haired Shanks, who was an inspiration for many and an influencer for all. We go over why exactly Shanks became the Gandhi of his series and how his style is unique and different from ones we would normally see from an emperor type character. To say first of all, Shanks deserves the most respect in the One Piece series for how he leads his life, and it's not affected by the general rules made by the One Piece population. Like, for example, to be a pirate king, you have to kill and slay as many people as you can. But Shanks does not follow this rule or any rules in particular, and he seems to forge his own path that may have never been seen before. This is awfully similar to Monkey D. Luffy, who we can assume will become the Pirate King in his own way, mind you. But this is the most likely similar because of his great influence and loyalty to none other than red haired Shanks. Before we explain the beauty of his character created by Oda, if you enjoy videos like these, consider slashing that subscribe button. But, we won't force you to because as we've learned from Shanks, the world is a free one. Anyway, without any further interruptions, we greatly value your time here. So let's get started right away on why red haired Shanks is the Gandhi of the One Piece universe. The first thing I want to mention is that if you don't know who Gandhi is, you've probably been living under a rock. Just kidding, but you should get my point, as Mahatma Gandhi is one of the most influential figures the world has ever seen. He started and forged a great path for himself in India against many people who rejected his ideas. He led strikes, campaigns, and grueling walks to announce the much called for separation of India from Britain, a land who basically reaped off of India's resources. What he was valued more was for leading these strikes peacefully when otherwise, in all normal instances in the history of the world, people would have normally gone to war a long time ago. Ultimately, Gandhi did get his way, and he inspired many people on the path, including Martin Luther King Jr. While we won't go into a deep history dive in this video, we do suspect that red haired Shanks was sort of modeled after Gandhi, meaning Oda most likely drew inspiration from Mahatma Gandhi to create his famous character, red haired Shanks. From the first moment and panel I saw red haired Shanks in the series, I honestly immediately fell in love with his character and character design, as well as his beliefs that were just so different from what we've seen from any other One Piece character. What I like most about red haired Shanks, and what I'll say right off the bat without any delay, is the fact that he isn't your normal anime character. The most common anime characters all include fighting, fighting, and well, more fighting. All the more powerful characters are more or less overconfident, cocky, and have a very violent mind, which is getting extremely repetitive as more anime series are continued to be made. Shanks is your typical crazy powerful character, being, a Yonko, one of the four closest to being the strongest characters in the One Piece series, also known as the Pirate King. But as we see in his first ever appearance in the series, he didn't seem to be the exact legendary pirate. The setting was in a bar slash restaurant in Luffy's hometown, and Shanks had been there at the time, just returning from an outing with his crew. Obviously, Luffy was very young, wanting to go with him on his pirate adventures, and as they met in the bar, Luffy was all about asking Shanks what fights he went through, how strong he was, and how cool he appeared to be on the outside. While Shanks didn't say anything for a while, the bar was soon overcome with infiltrators. The infiltrators jeered on Shanks to fight and prove his worth, and Shanks just stood there on the floor and watched. At this moment, I was quite confused as to why Shanks didn't stop and actually fight them, and I found out sooner than later that when we first learned of Shanks' code of life, in which a pirate need not to fight to express how strong he is. In fact, Shanks showed just how strong he was just by sitting on the floor, unwavering in front of the infiltrators. A few minutes later, Luffy questions Shanks as to why he had done exactly what he had done, and this is when Shanks confirms our predictions as to why. Luffy seems pretty unimpressed at first. However, at the moment of understanding, he began to admire Shanks even more. And fast forward to the current moment in the One Piece series, and Luffy is trying his best to forge his own path just to be like Shanks. While Luffy isn't as close to mature as Shanks, he still has shown he has a little bit of that red hair in him. For example, when a grand fleet of pirate friends Luffy has made in the Dressrosa arc asked him to be a part of his fleet, Luffy declined, and his reason was basically, I'll become the Pirate King either way, and I don't need your help, but in a way that it wasn't mean. And this displays Luffy's as Shanks inspired theme, as it shows Luffy understands now that one doesn't need manpower to become the Pirate King, but many other important assets that make him a complete man. This is very similar to the Gandhi MLK relationship we discussed earlier, only it's an anime and it's Shanks and Luffy. Shanks being the leader and is also showing his silent protest movements as well as inspiring countless others like Luffy. At this point, I don't understand how he couldn't be modeled after Gandhi or another peaceful figure from our universe, and how he isn't the most unique character in the One Piece series. Shanks began his career in the Roger Pirates, one of the only successful pirate crews to conquer the Grand Line and seek the last island. But oddly enough, Shanks was only a pirate apprentice, not even a first mate or an important crew member right away. This more than anything shows that Shanks had to work his way up the ladder just like any other pirate, and that obviously being Pirate King requires that you have to work more than anyone to do it. A counterexample to this would be Blackbeard Teach, perhaps the laziest and most conniving pirate who will most likely never become Pirate King. Teach got his power through betrayal and other people's successes, but he won't progress any further than Emperor level, most likely. Shanks, if not Luffy, will be the next one to be the Pirate King, with no doubt in my mind. As Shanks has begun to work under Roger, you could call him a rookie with a fresh start, already seeing the entire world before he was barely of age. Fast forward to his Emperor escapades, and it was stated in the manga that the Five Elders, the highest ranking world nobles in the One Piece series, actually respected red-haired Shanks. The Five Elders labeled Shanks a pacifist, and actually, although he was a pirate, didn't mind him breaking the world government's laws a bit. This is in fact really insane, seeing as all the pirates are breaking the laws and are not forgiven, whereas Shanks is the only one forgiving in the world. This was best shown when Shanks literally snuck into Marijoa, the headquarters of the world government, and actually met with the Five Elders in their actual room. This implies that the Five Elders have either created a special allowance for a pirate to be pardoned or just allowed him to break in. Especially on a sacred land like Marijoa, this is pretty insane. This amount of respect is tremendous, seeing as even the five most powerful political figures on the planet basically look up to him. But then again, all of this was before and after the battle in Marineford, when Shanks made a last minute appearance that basically solidified his role as the peacekeeper of the series. Shanks came when the Battle of Marineford was raging on pointlessly, and both Navy members and pirates were being slaughtered endlessly. Whitebeard had already been killed, and yet the bloodshed continued. Shortly before this, Kobe, another acquaintance of Luffy from the beginning of the series, was shouting to the whole battlefield how the war should stop and how soldiers had families to return to, which is true, and how people were being killed endlessly. Before Akainu was able to punish Kobe with death, Shanks blocked the strike and praised Kobe for his words. Then Shanks claimed he was going to stop the war, and single-handedly his beliefs in peacekeeping saved thousands and thousands of lives in the Paramount War. This is, in my opinion, was the climax of the war and Shanks' coolest moment as of yet. This placed Shanks pretty close to my heart and set me up for some more interesting stuff to come. I should probably stop ranting on about Shanks, but it's extremely important to note that before Shanks came to Marineford, he actually stopped Kaido from creating a war. You should probably just let that sink in, but I'm going to keep moving. Shanks, in a span of one day, crossed the blue seas and stopped two wars. This closely resembles Gandhi and his movement of peace that saw him walk for days and nights. And this, folks, is why I truly believe Shanks is a symbol of Gandhi, or just peace without violence in general, providing hope and power through different means for anyone in this series. And that is it for today's One Piece and character analysis video. This is actually the first episode in series to come where we compare One Piece characters to people in our own world. So subscribe to the world government to get endless One Piece content on your account. That's it for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next upload.